Hello everyone, Anthony with You're Not Alone. I want to bring to you guys, I'm going to say pro tip because it's something that I didn't even realize that I do, but yet it helps me get so much more done day to day. And it's kind of funny because it's talking about time management. That's the buzzword of time management or time blocking, all those different things. It's always funny talking about those because if you're inspired to do what you're doing, you don't really need time management. You just get things done. You just it's more functional for the people that are having a trouble getting through something. Maybe they don't want to complete a task, or it's something that just they're kind of forcing it. This is kind of a tip more for that kind of thing, or just for someone that wants to get a little more in per day. So I was waiting for my computer to wind up on the internet wasn't working for some reason, and it was about 10 minutes it took. And what I realized was it only takes me 5 or 10 minutes to do this podcast. And the way that I get things done during the day that I wouldn't normally get done is in those moments that I'm waiting for something else to happen that's like on a task. I always have little pieces, little things that I could be doing that take only 5 to 10 minutes. So when it comes down to it, I can then get this podcast done at a time where it's not really taking from something else. I'm just adding it into a process that's already in play. Now, it seems something like, okay, well, that's what everyone does. It doesn't make sense why it's not really a pro tip. Everyone does that. It's one of those things that you think you do, but then you get caught sitting in line at Starbucks not really doing anything, or you're on the toilet, or you're waiting for a meeting to start, or you have to wait to pick up your kids from school, and you could be pulling in a page or two of a book that you've been wanting to read, or from a manual that you're trying to learn about for a certain tool that you have. It's those little things, those little pockets of education to yourself that really help you grow. And that's a big piece of getting things done overall. You need to have the right knowledge to get things done. It's not all about doing it. Sometimes you really have to know. For instance, when bartenders is a great example. That they need to know their drinks. If they don't, then they have to look them up and they have to find the ingredients, find the right cup, and then they have to find the cup. When if they just memorized what it took, they could get many more drinks done at any given point. It's every single skill, sales, engineering, painting, a lot of things that if you just knew the process first, you took the time to get educated, it'll make the actual doing it part so much easier. And that's kind of the big piece, the big takeaway. And going back to the idea that it's inspired versus just required, you really don't need this kind of hint doesn't really help the people that are getting things done anyways because you just are. That's just how it is. For everyone that's not or they're going through a time in their life where they don't like what they're doing and they got to get things done, maybe you have to learn a new a new pamphlet that just came out for a product and you're in insurance sales and you really don't want to go through it. But hey, you put it in the back pocket, you're doing something else, you're waiting for food to get in when you're sitting in Chipotle or you're waiting for your lunch to come in and you're sitting down at a restaurant, pull out the pamphlet, read a little bit. Do it when you don't want to be doing something else. Like it's almost like that time that you're spending sitting on your phone going on Instagram. Try instead using that time to put a book on your phone and read that instead. I promise you, it doesn't seem like a lot, but there's a lot of things that can happen getting 2 or 3 pages done a day. You do that over a month, 2 or 3 pages, just 2 or 3 pages. That's 60 to 90 pages a month. That's almost an extra book or two that you probably wouldn't read in a year simply because you took some extra time every day and read some pages. Think of what you could do if you add a few extra books of knowledge to your repertoire of skills. Huge things happen at that point. You go from thinking you have an idea to actually having the tools in your mind to be say, okay, this is what it would take to get to B. I'm at A. I didn't quite understand A to B, and now I know that part, but now I just need to execute. That's a whole different story. Executing is huge. You gotta get it done, but you gotta be able to execute properly. It's not about. Sometimes it is just about pushing through, and sometimes it is about not knowing everything first. Don't fall into that trap. But knowing enough to get started and then to learn as you go. That's probably the best process and the best way I've learned to do that. Pro tip, like I said, just get a little bit of knowledge in here and there. Add that extra book that you've been wanting to read. That's kind of it. So Anthony, it's You're Not Alone. It's something I do daily, to be honest. I put in a little extra work and I get a little more out each day and it just feels good. I will talk to you all soon.